Hi again, everyone. Our first Midco SN game ball winner is crowned. Hear more about Trinity standout Nate Jilek's big day in a bit. Proud to have Farmers Union Insurance sponsoring our game ball award again this season. But high school football made its return to North Dakota over the weekend with most Class A and 9-man teams kicking off. We had some key wins highlighted by the aforementioned Trinity Titans downing third-ranked Bishop Ryan on a late safety, 29-27. 𝗕𝗹𝗹 County had a come-from-behind victory over Shiloh Christian that caught many people's attention. More on that in a bit. Last year's Dakota Bowl representatives flexed their muscles in the 9-man ranks with Kidder County and Cavalier putting up a combined 106 points in their wins. This week, Class 2A and 3A join the fun. We'll have our first televised game on Midco SN featuring Fargo South, a playoff team from a year ago, visiting Shanley on Friday night. All right, enough waiting. Let's take a look at our top performers from this past week. We have quite a few teammates on the list, and I'll let you know right now, I had a brutal time trying to decide the game ball winner this week because we had three candidates that I believe stood out over the rest. I'll let you know who as they come along. Let's start the list in alphabetical order. John Bogart of Grant County Flasher showed his grittiness on both sides of the ball. He rushed for 126 yards and 2 scores. He did a great job of picking up yards after contact too. On defense, contact was the name of the game for him. He finished with a team-high 12 tackles, forced a fumble, and recovered one. It was all a part of the Storm's 40-18 road win at Napoleon Gackle Streeter. Wyndmere Lidgerwood senior QB Preston Bonenstingle passed for 100 yards and a score, but also turned out 160 on the ground with a trio of touchdowns. He was all over the place in the Warbirds' win over Tri-State. On defense, he kicked in 8 tackles and a pick. He's one of the standouts in 9-man Region 1. Cavaliers' Bryson Clem took over the starting QB role for the Tornadoes and shined in his debut. The junior accounted for a trio of touchdowns on offense and then added a pick 6 in the 46-0 victory over Larimore. Last year's 9-man runner-up off to a great start. Carrington picked up an opening night win over Ellendale-Edgeley-Cullum 38-28. Junior Michael Clifton was a touchdown scoring machine. A couple of TD catches, a rushing score, and this kick return to the house. The Cardinals make the trip out to Bishop Ryan for a Saturday game this week. Here's one of the top candidates I was alluding to. Isaac Freeze of Harvey-Wells County played an unreal game, helping the Hornets rally from behind to beat Shiloh Christian 38-35. Freeze passed for 366 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's the same amount of touchdowns he threw for the entire season last year. He was also intercepted twice, but look out for Brett Doctor's Harvey-Wells County team. They are going to be a force this year, and Freeze will be a big part of that. From one Freeze to another, Grant County Flasher QB Jace Freeze was slinging it. He tossed a trio of scores, a pair of them to his younger brother Javin. The junior passer looks locked in this year. Here's a special one. If you played for Griggs Midco last Friday, you didn't leave the field. They had 9 total players that played the entire game against Mayport CG. As if that isn't impressive enough, they actually led 32-30 at the half, but eventually the Patriots pulled away for the 44-32 win. My goodness, I cannot imagine how exhausted those players were afterward. Kudos to you, Titans players. Here's another one of my top 3 candidates that was so close to getting that game ball. Colton Ness. Have a day, young man. The sophomore tight end caught 7 balls and turned that into 5 touchdowns, racking up 177 yards. He was a one-man wrecking crew for 4th-ranked Lemoore-Litchfield-Marion in the Lobos' 50-8 win over Maple Valley Enderlin. This is the type of performance that'll quickly get you on the radar of college teams in the region. We finished things off with the Rumfo Twins from Langdon-Edmore Munich. I'll be honest, these guys could win a game ball every week with the numbers they put up. Grant scored a trio of touchdowns on offense. His combination of size and speed at the Class A level is unreal. He also added a pick 6 on defense, showing off some great concentration on the catch. Keep in mind, all of these stats were recorded in one half of football because of the lopsided score. His brother Simon passed for a trio of scores, rushed for another, and added a pick 6 of his own in the 59-14 win at Northern Cass. His shiftiness and arm strength were on display Friday night. He's 26-0 with 2 state titles as the team's starting quarterback. He continues to amaze. Pat Northwood is the next team up on Friday night. But how about our game ball winner? Trinity's Nathan Jilek has to be a little exhausted after carrying the ball 36 times and rushing for 281 yards and a touchdown. Jilek took some beatings but delivered them as well in the 29-27 win over third-ranked Bishop Bryan, a Lions team coming off a trip to the Dakota Bowl a year ago. Jilek was bit by the injury bug early last fall and missed most of the season. Now he's ready to be a force as a senior. He's 6'1", 172, so it stings a little when you try to tackle him. Congrats to Nate. You have a game ball coming your way. That's a wrap for this week. We have a busy Friday night ahead. Our first live game hits the air at 7 o'clock as we bring you Fargo South at Shanley. And then at 10:30, our season debut of Varsity Sports Live on Midco Sports Network, featuring highlights, reaction, and much more from all over North and South Dakota. We'll see you then.